It's time for another weekend of Chair Shot Reality, episode 352 at Justin LeBar, at Rennell Hunt 7, at Juicy Steen. We are here in downtown Pittsburgh, Point Park University CMI studio. And fellas, let's kick off the weekend talking about what is the top story in the world of WWE, and that is we have a new WWE champion. Not to many surprise, we in fact all predicted it last week that Bray Wyatt would walk out of the Elimination Chamber as champion. What we did not predict necessarily is that then on Tuesday SmackDown, Randy Orton would basically say, no, I decline my number one contender title match at Mania. I pledge my allegiance to you, Bray Wyatt. Then we find out on Talking Smack, Battle Royal.
Yep.
Here we go. Smell it.
I can smell a triple threat.
It smells like the beard.
It smells dirty.
Of Luke Harper.
Of course, it's a guy that you manage, and you got to call it last week. Oh, it's going to be a triple threat.
I didn't know inside why.
Uh-huh.
I didn't.
I'm verified on Twitter. I know everything.
There's nothing to do
At
with
least for
it.
me, my holy water was spiked, and I predicted Goldberg. But you, on the other hand,
look at the blue check mark.
You know, I'm still trying to work on one of those. Yeah. But the thing is with this, man, phenomenal way for it to go. Sadly, somehow you predicted it. I have no idea how you predicted it.
Well, no, I look at it like this. It literally is. We need to have a Luke Harper Bray Wyatt payoff, but we need to have a Randy Orton Bray Wyatt payoff.
Why not?
Why not put it all together?
It makes complete sense. Honestly, if I was a booker, once again, if we open up the Rev's Book of Revelations, I honestly probably would have booked it the same way. Right now, I think that makes the most common sense and will do the most justice for what they're trying to do right now with this storyline. And for you to have a perfect balance in order for all things to make sense, even if you want an implosion at the end, it has to go down exactly like that.
And I think Luke Harper proved himself at Elimination Chamber that he can be on a main event level stage with Randy Orton in a great match. And I think showing his talents at WrestleMania in a triple threat with all those guys, and they've worked together, over the last couple of months, I think it could be fantastic. And it'll blow the Raw main event out of the water too.
This is all what we're assuming. This is what we're assuming the Raw main event is, and we're assuming that Luke Harper wins the Battle Royal. One guy, though, and I said this on my Wrestling Reality audio podcast, every Wednesday now you can search for Wrestling Reality on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music, and I said, while this looks to be the case, Randy Orton, Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, one guy that's still out there in the fold who looks to be coming back soon is Eric Rowan. Now, Eric Rowan I do not think will nor belongs to be in a title match main event at WrestleMania, but Eric Rowan will be key as we have all these weeks to fill towards WrestleMania. You put Eric Rowan in there, Eric Rowan could fight Randy Orton one week. He can fight Luke Harper another week. Another week we can make Luke Harper and Randy Orton have to coincide and be tag team against Rowan and Wyatt. Rowan will be a big piece, I think, to keeping the dynamics stirred up, assuming he comes back here soon.
Do you think that it can be possible that as we build up to WrestleMania and into WrestleMania, that he could play a very strategic role if this was the master plan booking for the big main event, for him to play some type of effect in someone losing that title or gaining that title?
Maybe. I look at Eric Rowan just as a minion. Bray Wyatt always needs somebody to control, and Harper's gone, and Orton, we think subsequently will be gone soon. And
Eric Rowan had his big payoff match last year against the Rocks at WrestleMania, so he doesn't need another one.
I want to bring up this, though. I do want to bring up this before we switch over to John Cena and AJ Styles. Nick Paglino had an interesting post on WrestleZone.com on Thursday, and it's very true, and it also reflects something that Vince McMahon said. Paglino brought up the actual technical rule book of WWE, which I know, rule book, it sounds ridiculous. But in that rule book, it does say that if the winner of the Rumble decides not to take that title match, that it becomes the runner-up who then has all the privileges.
Yeah, we know who that is.
Which Roman Reigns is the runner-up. Now, I say this for this reason.
Yes.
I say this for this reason.
Yeah, right.
If they wanted to make it another person in the pot to make it even more interesting, and if you guys pay attention to the quarterly meetings that the WWE has and Vince gets to speak to stockholders and answer questions, some question was regarding talent and the brand switch and this and that. And but in the answer, as an example, Vince said, for example, if Roman Reigns was to move to SmackDown. All I'm saying, that could be complete coincidence of that rule
they can't
status,
ruin
and Vince had that as his example.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, Roman Reigns is fighting Braun Strowman at Fastlane.
Yep.
What's after that? We speculate, is it Taker? What's after that for Roman Reigns? Because if not, just things to think about.
SmackDown's been doing so well. You don't want to feed at that.
You're such an such an internet guy.
No, I'm not. No. What is it? No, I'm not.
You're an internet guy.
I'm sorry, I'm not verified. I'm just a mark. I'm not.
No, you're that typical. I hate Roman Reigns.
I'm not typical.
He's been shoved out on both sides.
He's been pushed to the moon and got zero response to them being a heel. So and it just instead of
maybe
running
he becomes a heel.
Yeah,
so
they won't do it. They won't do it.
So my thing is,
he's so over with
my
the younger
thing is,
demographic.
If you don't want him to get traded, say for this in order to make sense. You just don't want, I mean, not trade it, but just spill over into SmackDown. You just want to just rip them up and throw them away, right?
Well,
just stay on
Raw.
Raw.
Let me say this.
Fighting Braun.
Moving on over to John Cena and AJ Styles. What happens with them? John Cena, we speculate maybe the whole reality show thing.
Yep.
AJ Styles. What happens to him? What if there was an actual case of where Roman Reigns does lay a claim because he's a runner-up, and he somehow gets moved over to SmackDown, and then Raw goes, well, this is unfair. We've just lost one of our biggest draws, and AJ Styles moves to Raw. What happened? I mean, AJ Styles held SmackDown down held down SmackDown for quite a while. So he certainly could use a change of landscape.
So do you think that's more likely to happen, or that AJ could fight Shane?
More likely, probably AJ and Shane. But I'm just putting it out there. It was just interesting that isn't a fair point.
It's still a possibility.
Because I'm talking smack, they planted some seeds there. He's like, Shane.
Back to the seats.
Yeah. Well,
we haven't got to the seeds.
All
right. I'm tired of hearing Planet of Seeds.
I'm going to predict this. Man.
All right.
I'm going to predict this. My thing is with this regarding AJ Styles. We're going to try to let's just do the rest book of Revelations one more time. I want you to pick a card, LeBar. Any card you want. Any stinking card you want. And show it to the camera wherever you want to show it.
Don't look.
All right, I'm cool. But regarding this, if we say that whatever card he picked is an AJ Styles, I'm gonna show you exactly what happens. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I look at. Can I look at your card?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know the rules.
7 of hearts. Where we are? Right here. Like I said, 7 of hearts. It doesn't matter if this is AJ Styles.
Card is.
Really, I don't really like you, Bar, so I'm gonna rip your card up because I can care less about it. But if you want to rip up Roman Reigns, why don't we rip up AJ Styles? The thing is with this, it's not on the same level field. But if you rip it up,
that card represents the Young Bucks.
Throw it behind you. What do you do if AJ Styles of 7 of Hearts gets ripped up in your face? Well, I'll tell you this.
Oh my God.
He's gotta. Oh my God. What the hell?
My thing is, it doesn't matter what you do. Let's get a zoom in. It doesn't matter what you do. It's always going to come back. The thing is with this, regardless of where you put AJ Styles, if you say he doesn't belong here, keep him here as a solid foundation, Roman Reigns, whatever, in particular with AJ Styles, since we're on him, wherever you put him, he's going to be gold. He's going to come back. He's going to make some wonderful things happen.
Really disgusting.
He's going to be.
He must be that kid that ate all the Play-Doh.
And like crayons,
Chair shot reality. We have plenty more this weekend to go. Josh Eisenberg will join us from down in Florida. We need somebody to come.
Kendall Jenner, eat your heart out.